Hi, I'm Damien, welcome to Project Brupeg. We're turning a sunken fishing trawler into a global research and expedition boat. We're community funded and you can get on board. Welcome back to Project Brupeg. This week we're pushing on with our dump and run mission. We're closing up our front veggie oil storage tanks and working on our coffer dam, getting the boat watertight.
A while ago, Dame finished welding the inside tanks.
What the fuck? Jess? Can you check the settings on the welder?
Yeah, one sec.
Can you tell me what the wire feed and the amps are?
6 wire feed.
Yep.
And 2.6. Have you got a problem?
Can you go to 2.5?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I'm just gonna try it. Okay, can you go back to 2.6, but back the wire feed off about 1 or 2 clicks?
You want it down from 6 to 5?
5, 7 or something like that?
Okay, from 5.8.
Okay, and is the horsepower back up to 2.6?
Yeah.
Can you also... I'm going to need to use my grinder in here. I've got the grinder, I just don't have it plugged into power.
Yeah. You want to pass the wire out?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
It looks like it's plugged in.
That's my light. Perfect, thank you. Yep.
Today we're going to get stuck into the sandblasting on the inside of our fuel tanks. We did the welding of the tanks, now we're going to get in there and sandblast the tanks so we can get a couple of coats of paint on, ready for our veggie oil. So on the inside of our fuel tanks, you can see where we've welded basically the square around the side of the hull. This is unblasted on this side and unpainted, hence it's just that rusty steel colour. What we need to do on the inside, there's an equivalent weld. We need to get in there, sandblast it with our wet water blaster system, and then go through and put 2 coats of our whiz-bang fuel paint in there. Now the reason why we are sandblasting with our wet water blaster system, this is exactly what this system was made for. So it's the beauty of this system. Some people call it dustless blasting. It's not, but it's probably about 95% less dust than if you were to dry blast. So the water has a massive dampening effect when it comes to stopping all of the sand dust just flying around in the tank. It's very hard to see when you dry blast, but with this you've got pretty much full visibility. So that's an absolute great job for doing with a wet water blasting system like this. So for those that haven't seen the wet blaster system, it comprises 3 main bits. So you got the water blaster. In this case, it's just a, 2,500 PSI water blaster. Got our old faithful air compressor. This thing's a bit of a beast. It's quite large. It's a 3-phase compressor. I don't know how much horsepower, air capacity or grunt it has, but basically we can run this whole thing and it'll just stick at 100 to 110 psi all day, every day. She's a bit of an old train engine sort of thing running it, but it's a really reliable old beast. And this is where the magic happens. So this is the actual blaster component itself. It's pretty straightforward what we do. So we put dry sand in this. It's a 10-gallon chamber. This red part is the chamber. And then if I come around the back, so we've got this yellow line as our main air compressor feed. And then you can see we've got an air gauge and then a pipe going across to where the lid is, and then running down through a ball valve and down to the bottom mixing valve down here. So that red line controls, that's our air feed, so we can control how much air is going in. And then you can see over the back there's a ball valve. If I spin it over there, you can see there's a ball valve just there. That ball valve allows us to decide how much sand to put in, and then at that little sort of T intersection at the bottom there, the two meet, so we can vary the ratio of sand to air, and then they all just get fired out this orange and black rubber line, and then they come down to our gun. So this is just a regular water blasting gun, so we got the trigger, turns the water on and off. Then our orange line comes up to our custom fitted ball valve. So this is a high performance mounting system that we're using, known the world over. So that ball valve basically controls our sand, so we can turn that on and off. And then right down this end, you can see we've got a nozzle that just combines the two. So in the steel pipe work there, you've got high pressure water, and then you've got the rubber line there is basically sand, dry sand being fed in, and then they get combined and fired out the end. Rich has just informed me we have a 10 horsepower 7.5 kW compressor. And it's dual cylinder. So today's job, we're going to plug this hole here and make Brupeg waterproof. So this coffer dam, it does a couple of things. It separates the fuel tanks from the water tanks, so if one of them leaks, it doesn't interfere with the other fluid. You can't have those two separated by a single bulkhead, you need that gap. So that's the point of the coffer dam. It also does a couple of things for us in terms of our ice resistance. So if you spin the camera around, the front of the boat you've got our crash bulkhead, which is basically an air void. It's a tank essentially with nothing in it. In one of the previous videos, if you check it out here, you can see that there's a pipe that runs through one of the fuel tanks at the front, from the crash bulkhead at the very front of the boat through to the coffer dam just behind this fuel tank. And what that allows is if we hit something really hard like ice or a rock or a coral reef or anything like that, and we're not sure if we've pierced the hull open, we can come into the coffer dam, open up a ball valve, and if water comes out, we've pierced it. If water doesn't come out, it's all dry, it's all good, we haven't ruptured the hull. So it's a bit of a safety feature as well. The flip side is if this tank, the front tank leaks, it just goes straight into the coffer dam, and vice versa. If the water tank leaks, any of the seals or fittings or anything like that leak, comes in the coffer dam as well and doesn't sort of go through other parts of the boat. It kind of keeps it contained. It adds another watertight bulkhead area to the boat, so if we rupture anything on the side, again, it goes into a tank and not into the hull, and it doesn't compromise the rest of the boat. Now, all that said, it's about maybe 6 foot from the deck down to the bottom of the coffer dam. So there's a hatch in one of the cabins at the front of the boat, and to get into the coffer dam we need to be able to basically open that hatch and then climb down a ladder to get into it. We don't have that ladder. So first job up is we're going to go and figure out how to install a ladder. This is a ladder that it was originally located in the engine room, and we ripped it out when we put the door through in the engine room bulkhead. So, the plan. This is our old engine room ladder. Used to go down from what is now the lounge through a hatch and into the engine room. It's too long for what we're going to do, so what we need to do is lop off about maybe, I don't know, 1.5 feet or something at the bottom. We're going to cut it parallel, so it'll be basically measured up and be parallel, cut across there between those two beams, drill a hole through it, and we're going to weld a bracket onto what is the fuel tank and bolt it onto this ladder. At the top here, it's already got some brackets, basically 2 brackets that are the same. What the plan is build a smaller bracket, again weld it to the fuel tank, and it'll only probably stick out from the wall maybe 1.5 inches, 2 inches top, something like that. With that, whatever that diameter hole is going to be our bolt hole size. We'll duplicate that back down here. This bracket will be maybe 5 inches or 6 inches long, so it'll be a wee bit longer than the top one, just so that we can save a bit of work. We don't have to make 6 pieces of steel, we can make 4 pieces of steel in total. So this is looking directly into the coffer dam from the bottom of the hull straight up into the roof of the coffer dam. That black hatch in the centre of the screen is the hatch that goes through into the starboard cabin, and then at the top of the screen you can see the plate that's bolted on for the water tank, and then just in the centre of the screen now you've got the plate where it's going to bolt on for the fuel tank. So that what we need to do is run the ladder essentially over top of that fuel tank plate. So we're going to weld in all of the, that's why it has to be bolt on. We're going to weld in all of the stainless mounts so that we can unbolt that ladder, put the plate on, and then bolt the ladder back in.
Right, so cut away and I'll dig out this stainless here.
It'll cut the size no one will ever use. Fucking stainless. No, it's gone blunt.
Really, that quick?
Yeah. Damn. Look at this, you can see. See the cutting edges burred over?
Yep.
One of them anyway, but that one's getting pretty short.
That was entirely too quick.
Yeah, I'm going to go and sharpen that.
No, it's not going anywhere.
It just destroys it right off the bat.
So the issue that we have, so we're trying to drill stainless to make some mounts for this ladder. The issue that we have is our drill bits are not physically hard enough to cut the stainless.
What do you usually cut it with?
Drill bits like this. Like there must be a better, there's obviously a better version out there than what we've got. But these are no slugs, but still.
And where'd you get this from?
Oh, it's out of the scrap pile.
So it could be from anything.
So that's a really sharp drill. So let's give that round 5. I think I'm plugged in it. Yeah, we're not cutting.
What about plasma?
Yeah.
Why don't you just plasma a little messy hole? Does it really matter?
No, but I'd rather.
Stainless, it's not going to rust or anything.
No, I'd just rather tidy it.
But you could do a tidy enough one with plasma. What?
That was not it, but you see that go slightly around it.
Maybe you need to get really expert in making perfect round holes with the plasma. Because you seem to need it quite a lot.
Maybe I buy drills that are capable of doing the job.
You don't think these are?
They're fine for mild steel,
Ah.
but they're struggling with stainless.
So what do you use for stainless?
Good drills.
Yeah, but how do you know what's it made of? What's the difference?
I don't really know.
Titanium or something?
It'll be something whiz bang. I just don't know quite what that is.
Whiz bang, is that a technical term?
Yeah, whiz bang. It'll say it on the front.
Damien's saying that he needs a whiz bang drill bit set.
I need drill bits that
Technical
are
term.
rated to like high whiz bang. Like
Things
them.
are worth a damn.
Ooh, look.
I don't know if they're worth.
What did you say they needed to be?
Ah, look.
Let's give them a shot.
Alright, I'm going to take Mish to the beach. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Alright.
Come, baby, let's go. Mish, thank you.
I just had a thought. Our big drill bit that we need to finish with is the shit drill bits.
What's the big drill bit size you need?
3/8. I mean, we don't have to go that size, but that's just copying.
Yeah, that's
that.
only a quarter shank. Rip it open.
How do you fucking get into this? The plastic extends under the side.
Yeah.
There we go. We can just get in through the back.
Where it says open.
Yeah,
here?
yeah.
Nope, they're no better than yours.
Nope, that just melted.
Yeah.
Okay, so it must be a metal. There's no way that two. It has to be the metal.
It is. It's too tough.
Let's find a different bit of stainless. Okay, so we had a slight change of plan. So we were starting to drill with stainless. We're having a whole bunch of issues with drill bits. We tried a couple of different types, high-speed steel, titanium coated. Don't know what's going on. It's not drilling through the stainless. So rather than spend 4 hours trying to drill 4 holes, we're going to swap over and build the brackets that are going to weld onto the fuel tank out of mild steel. They'll bolt to a stainless ladder. There's no issue there, so long as we paint up the mild steel fine, we won't have any issues with rust or anything like that. So, and they're really easily to access and blast and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, we're going to swap over, do that so that we can get this done within about sort of quarter of an hour.
Makes for a faster cut. But
Hold up, sweet.
didn't screw it up.
That's good.
Amazing. Yay.
easier.
Done.
We just had we had Christmas arrive. We started opening up, we had like heaps of mail arrive, we started opening up, and one of our Patreons, John Limington in Cornwall, the UK, he's sent over like
Look at this
awesome,
piece of beautifulness.
It's a Blue Point torque wrench and a full Blue Point 3/4, sorry not 3/4, a 3/8 drive socket set with like decent sockets. It's amazing. Like
We're
just
blown away. We're
absolutely
so blown away.
amazing. And of course, me being me, I was like all excited, and we opened it, and it kind of went. So it was like snowing 3/8 drive socket sets.
Oh, they're beautiful, John. Thank you so much. It's just gorgeous. Yeah.
These are amazing. I really appreciate it, John. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Firstly, for like supporting us. Like you're a Patreon, you already do plenty to support us, and then like this is amazing. I really want to just. It's amazing. Thank you so much.
Thanks. So it's like building Brupeg, you know, parts of Brupeg, and you're part of it. Thanks
Yeah.
so much. I hope that doesn't sound too corny. It's actually really moving.
No, it's really cool. It's because it's really cool.
I love it.
It's amazing.
I love it. I love the whole project, you know.
Yeah.
How lucky are we?
No.
Like from people around the world, we get to know them, you know. They get to be a part of it, no matter how far away they are.
I love that people can actually be a part of it. Yeah.
It's fucking beautiful, thank you. Look at that.
No, they're just gorgeous, eh?
Well, who's on my mind is John, who was supposed to be here with us. Just all these tools make me think of him.
Yeah.
We're thinking of John.
So do you reckon you can hold it there while I get up on that side and weld it?
You're going over the edge? Is that a good idea? So it's going to be bolt on, bolt off then?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Okay, cool. Excellent. Camera?
Right, you ready?
Camera action! Yeah, light's fine. God, there's not a lot of room in there, is there? Okay.
What did we? There's less room than I thought with a helmet. Alright.
You might have to go. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay, here we go.
So the guys are welding the ladder on. Some hot, really hot afternoon here.
You can just stay put.
Do you need something? Okay.
Welding. Yeah.
So Richard's holding it. Damien's welding it.
Welding. Yeah. Helmet.
It's like a sauna in there. It's so hot.
Oh, they're big and ugly.
Is it holding?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Minutes.
So the plan is to weld these little steel tags on, that bolt on for the ladder. The ladder goes right the way up, and then there's tags at the top as well that we're going to be welding on. It's incredibly tight in here, so with this ladder you've got to be a very skinny person to get into this coffer dam, but it's a ladder, and that's something that we've never had before.
Right. Is it like jamming up with, is it welding the tip?
No, it was minimally stuck.
Oh, okay.
I gooed the shit out of that tip though. I think he's going for never dealing with it again.
Insanely loud.
What?
Insanely loud.
I bet. Have you got earplugs in?
No.
Shit.
We don't need to do both sides on that. It's a ladder. We'll burn more paint and deal with more.
And I'll undo them.
Set it. Oh,
You want a spanner?
gotcha. Hold on.
What's he actually doing?
Did you see those?
What?
Did you see them wherever they drop down?
No.
Oh, there's a bolt and a washer somewhere.
Oh, Richard might have them.
No, they fell down here.
Just right now.
Yeah, somewhere.
A bolt as well.
Sorry, a nut and a washer.
I've got a washer, but no nut. If it's here, we'll see it. No, I've only got one of these. Whoa, there's one. I saw that one.
Yeah,
They're hot, Jess.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Oh, there's another one.
they're warm, I think.
There's two washers.
Yeah, and they were looking for a nut.
It's just
told you.
It's warm in there. And the tanks. Paint
Well,
the tanks.
Or sand. It might have to be sand, then paint.
Do tanks tomorrow because we may run out of time.
Well, that's got to get painted. But that can be this side of sand or the other side of sand. We got a window with that. We don't have window for sand.
Be good to get out of the sun. Come back, it'll be a lot cooler.
Yep. Alright, see that. Let's go get sand and then come back, paint. That's a tight fit with that ladder in there. Like you're going to be wall against your back as you're coming down.
Yeah, is it even possible? Because it's supposed to be on this side, isn't it?
I can't because of the water tank. I can't open them up and paint them again.
No, this side here.
That's the side it's on. Oh,
On
not
the
on the
hull.
tank.
Not on the tank.
Ah, sorry, I understand what you're talking about.
I'm not sure why you put it on the tank.
Because you can't really do it that way because the lid upstairs is like that shape, right? And it's that dimension there is only just wide enough for your hips, so you can't have it go that way because you'd have to be going in with a ladder sideways. You have to have the ladder the direction
you
you're
could
going.
have a step and then cross over to the ladder.
Yeah, it's too awkward.
Bit late now.
It's too awkward, so that's why we've done it the way
I'm sure
we
the
have.
way you've done it's the best possible.
Yeah, I thought about mounting it out here on the side of the hull. My ideal would have been on the water tank over on this side, because then you've got the door for the cabin here, goes like that, and you got the wall about there, and the bed goes across like that.
But remember, we're moving the hatch too,
Yeah, the hatch will be over here eventually.
so you won't be able to reach the ladder.
no, I'll just move it accordingly.
Well, as long as you can get in it.
Standing underneath the lights,
I'm not sure.
looking into each other's eyes.
Looks like something.
Tired snowflakes are coming down, collapse into water when they hit the ground. I hear the sound of empty streets, and yesterday has gone to sleep. So all that's left is you and me. I can't promise you're the only thing I see. Hold my hand and hear the words I say. Close your eyes and let us fade away. Build a secret place for you and me. And let our minds be caught up in a dream. Quiet voices in the night. Time is running out of sight. A lonely wind is passing by, tries to carry all the whispers that it finds. The walls are listening when we talk, making echoes as we walk. There's no one left but you and me. It's like a made-up place that only we can see. Hold my hand and hear the words I say. Close your eyes and let us fade away. Build a secret place for you and me. Let our minds be caught up in a dream. Standing underneath the lights, look into each other's eyes. There's no one left.
So I'm about to climb in the fuel tanks, and we're using this paint that's pretty awesome, and it's really critical to follow manufacturer's instructions. And with this paint, they give you an 8-hour window from first coat to second coat. And obviously we're following that as close as we can. I've procrastinated doing this job for as long as I can before I start getting to the back end of that window. It gets to about 50 degrees inside these tanks, and one of the issues that I'm facing is because the paint doesn't like water going on it, it's not water soluble or anything like that, you sweat like an absolute mofo when you go into these tanks and start painting. So I have to jam myself up into a corner so that when I do sweat profusely in there, it goes down below where the paint is. So that's why in the camera I look bit weird, because I'm painting at some bizarre angles and stuff, and it's so that I can quite literally direct my sweat away from where I'm painting. Yeah, so on that note, let's get in there and do some painting. So that's 2 coats on 2 tanks. They're ready to seal up. As soon as that paint's dried, we're going to climb in and we're going to put our aircraft sealing on those 2 hatch covers that we need to seal up. Then we can put our ladder in and start working on closing up that coffer dam. So nighttime on Brupeg, and we are trying to figure out our wiring. So we've got some issues around fuses. So there's some sort of best practices things that you can do with boat wiring and so on. But one of the things that we're struggling with is actually tracking down some of the gear that's needed. In Australia, they seem to have different sort of styles of fusing and things like that. And we're just actually trying to figure out, is what we're looking at in Australia the same, so that we can make sure we do it right. So that's what we're doing at most evenings this week, has been sort of researching what we're doing about how we're going to set up our wiring system.
You're only interested in the meat? Yes, you are. It's probably past. The moment has come and gone.
Very good. What's wrong? What do you say? Why? How come?
No, darling. No. It's not your food, puppy, it's human food.
Puppy!
I don't think that'll work.
Darling.
I don't think that'll work.
The engine battery's going flat.
I know, you're very upset.
Inside voice.
If I give it to you now, you'll know that this worked. I have to wait. I'm sorry, my darling, I can't give you any. You'll have to wait. Get away from the little plate.
This piece of manky looking steel is actually the part of the hull that we cut out. So it's been sitting on the ground for about 2.5 years now. So we need to go through, belt off all of this paint, get it down to bare steel, so that we can go through and paint it. So this surface that you're looking at now is the inside of the hull. So we're going to go through and sandblast that down to white metal, weld the whole thing in, and then that'll give us the ability to paint this inside the hull, and we won't have to do any sort of sanding or anything. We have the 2 lids for our fuel tanks complete. So this has had 2 coats of our whiz-bang fuel paint on. You can see there's a little bit of pitting around. This is the inside of the fuel tank that you're looking at. A little bit of pitting, doesn't go down more than about 1 millimetre or so, 6mm plate, so we're pretty happy with that. We're just leaving that as is. So we do need to go through and do a little bit of work inside the dam. So that board that you can see in the sort of centre of the screen is the floorboard. So under the floorboard you've got a few ball valves, some flange fittings. We welded up a flange fitting, so we've got to go through and sandblast that so that we can get some paint on it to hold. We also need to go through those faces where the steel fuel tank lids bolt onto. We need to go through and just give them a last clean up to make sure that they're good, ready for our fuel tank sealant. And finally, one of the last things we need to do is climb inside the fuel tank. give it a really good hose out, get any sort of last bits of sand or any dust or garbage or anything like that out of the tank. Give it a good clean down. We're going to do the same inside the coffer dam, so there's no sand and rubbish and all that. It's pretty clean, because once we seal this up, it's going to be much harder to clean any of these things, because we have to come down through the interior of the boat. So doing it now saves us a heap of work later on. So first job this morning, we're going to get one of the fuel tank hatches. We're going to dry fit them to the sealing port on the hull, on the bulkhead for the fuel tank. Okay, scratch that, we've just realised something. When we painted the plates that get bolted onto the fuel tank, there was drips basically running through the holes and so on. So when we flipped it over, the drips are quite pronounced. So we're going to go through and with a 240 grit, we're going to sand those down flat. Just thinking that mainly when we put the bolts on, if we're nipping up against paint and stuff like that, it could rip it off and become a bit of a pain. So we're just going to flatten that down just to make sure that we've got a great seal on the tank side, and then the bolts have got something flat to go onto on their side. So we'll get into that and then we'll put the tank seals in.
It's child's play compared to the other one.
You want to leave this place where we grew up, this old town, just put it all behind. Remember you and I would always find somewhere to hide when we were kids, so we could see and hear the water run. The river's gonna cry when you're gone.